Thank you all for coming to the Charlotte Men's Basketball March 11th press conference. This is the last press conference before we begin play in the 2024 American Athletic Conference Tournament, and Charlotte begins play on Friday at 9 p.m. on ESPNU. Coach, would you like to open with any comments?
No.
This is for both you guys. A lot of firsts this season, first sellout in X amount of years, first top-ranked win. Coach, for you personally, and then the Kai, what are you most proud of for what you guys have done so far this season?
I've said this before. The thing that I'm most proud of is just the energy that we've been able to bring back into the program, and people excited about the program and about the way we play, and how hard the guys compete, and being excited to get in the building and watch us perform, and that's definitely what I've been personally most proud of, is that we've been able to how do I say this, just reignite some old memories probably of, the older supporter base, and then just the new energy of the student body and the way they've got behind the guys, and the atmosphere that they create. And I think when you're a student, it's part of being, at sporting events, is that environment and the energy and those memories that you create as a student, to be part of those types of things. And there's no doubt that energy and enthusiasm, support has really helped us play the way that we've played at home here, and that's definitely that's the most proud that I am of what we've been able to achieve.
Like you said, just the energy that got back into this building. This being my second year, just seeing the change from last year to this year is it's a lot more exciting and a lot more fun to play this year.
For both of you guys, obviously the answer every coach and player likes to give is you just got to play the team in front of you. But looking at the draw that you guys have, had some success against Temple and UTSA, had the one road loss to SMU. So just how do you feel about the path that you guys will have to face?
Well, it's going to be challenging for everybody. There's going to be no doubt about that. We're the teams that have been able to get in that top four, you had to fight and scrap and claw to get to that point. There's teams that have just missed out on that could easily be there. So we understand it's going to be a huge challenge ahead. You want to be playing good ball at this time of the year, and we've been able to get back some form the last couple of games, and did some really, really good things the other day against ECU, and we need to have a great week of preparation, and can't waste a day, and be sharp and short and sharp and intense, and really concentrate and prepare the best we can, and then we've got to go perform. I mean, I said this going into the South Florida game. We had a great week of preparation, and we could get out there and perform to the best of our ability. But like I've said, I don't want to take anything away from South Florida that game. They just outplayed us. And so my point is that you've got to go perform on the day, and your habits of the season come back to help you or hurt you. And we've got a week this week to get prepared and be the best we can be.
Coach, you talked about the mental toughness that it was going to take for this team to be successful down the stretch. Obviously, you get the regular season finale at ECU, but what did you learn from your team about how they handled that adversity and the mental toughness it took?
Yeah, I mean, a good question. I mean, we were obviously playing some sensational basketball, and then we lost those three in a row, but I remember saying this to them. I'm glad we're in this situation. Like I want to see what our mentality is from this situation. Are we going to fight? We're going to find solutions. Are we going to really lock into some things? And then guys need to perform, and we as staff need to perform and prepare, and to come back and finish off the regular season with those 2 wins, and especially the ECU game. I mean, they're a really talented team, really physical, disruptive defensively, edgy. Like we had to be very good, mentally, physically, emotionally, even through that entire game, because it went kind of up and down, back and forth, and then we made some really good plays down the stretch and at both ends of the floor. And so just proud of the guys' ability to find a way, and it's never easy to stay super sharp the whole year, because it's a very long season and at any level, so just to fight and scrap through that and find a way, and as I said to them after the game, just extremely proud of what they've been able to achieve this year. They've done some amazing things, and the list goes on, but now we're in season 3, basically, how you break it down, and it's basically day 1 today, and see how long we can keep this thing rolling.
As a staff, how do you gauge that? Like where your team is? Like, is there little things you notice where like, hey, maybe we need to check up on this guy, or what's the process like there?
I mean, yeah, we check in with the guys individually and just see how they're going, and so on and so forth. But we just try and break it down on both sides of the ball. Basically, I've broken it down to 3 areas on each side that we need to really concentrate in, because you could concentrate on 50. Like, it's impossible to do that. So we've just talked about trying to lock into three areas on each side of the ball, and then 3 team things that we talk about having to do, and it's up to the guys to lock into them and put their best effort in those areas. And we feel if we want to identify some areas that we know are going to be very important for us to have some success, and we either can do it or we don't. And if you do, you'll put yourself in a position to play well, and if you don't, well, then you're going to be in trouble.
Lakai, what was that stretch like for you? Obviously, you win 7, 8 straight, and then you go through that slump. Just as a player, what was that like? What was it like to deal with that?
It was definitely frustrating. Knowing that the season's gonna have its highs and lows. I just like that we stayed together through that little storm we had. Having all that joy and thing, you winning, nothing really else really matters, it feels like. But when we had another adversity patch, losing those 3, it hit us hard. But I like how we came back these last 2, and fought these ones out. And like he said, it's good to start playing good basketball right now.
What did that win at ECU do for you guys, just to you need to feel that again, just heading into tournament play?
It did a lot, man, especially with, some other people. It gave some other people more confidence going into the tournament, especially Nick Graves. I feel like he had a good game. I feel like his confidence right now is probably through the roof just off of that game. Igor, DJ, doing what he did in that game. I feel like everybody's back on board and, playing how they're supposed to play. And Robert Braswell, too.
Look, what did that game, especially against ECU, do for your confidence? And what have the coaching staff been, telling you to be able to get your confidence back and play at your highest level?
Just keep playing through the system. Just keep trusting in my teammates to make the right play. Just trusting in my teammates and just telling me to make the right play. And they've been with me every through my ups and downs. So they're backing me every time I have a bad or good game. So it keeps me level.
7 assists from Deshaun. Did you know he could facilitate like that?
Nah. He actually in practice, he's starting to get more comfortable on that elbow, making them type of passes. So he's been doing it in practice. It was just all a matter of him doing it in the game, and now it's starting to show up. And that's kind of scary if he can do that, because what you're gonna take away from him if he can make the right pass on that elbow.
I want to ask you guys about the last time we saw you in postseason play, the CBI last year. What did you learn from that obviously you'll apply now heading into a conference tournament?
Just the will to win a championship. I say just doing whatever it takes. Just knowing how hard it is to win a championship in March, it was a good learning experience from the guys that came back from last year from that CBI championship.
Well, we were getting asses kicked in the first half when we played Western Carolina down there, and like Lakai said, it's extremely hard to win at this time of the year because everyone's playing extremely desperate, urgent. It's really physical. It's really important to stay in your lane and play your role and not try and go outside of that. And like Lakai said, some guys did some outstanding things on Saturday, and as I say, they have a responsibility to perform in their role, and we had a number of guys do that, which is awesome. But it's difficult. I've been part of playoff basketball at the pro level, and I've been to 2 NBL finals and lost both times, and it's difficult. It's tough to win a playoff series. It's tough to win a playoff game at this level. It's just kind of won and move on, and it's really, really difficult. You got to be mentally locked in. We talk about it all the time, just emotionally the same, and then physically you've got to bring a level of physicality that's with unbelievable discipline. It can't be reckless because you'll put yourself in a position that doesn't help the team. And, you want to keep that, you don't want to make this any bigger than what it is. I mean, we've got to play another basketball game, and that's what it is. So I want to keep the guys as grounded as possible and get them to understand that. Yes, we have to play well. So does the other team. And so it's about what we do preparing for the game is the most important thing. You're fooling yourself if you're just going to go turn the light switch on come game night. And it doesn't work that way. So we've got to work really hard this week, and they have to individually prepare for the week ahead, because you're potentially playing 3 games in 3 days, and you got to have every ounce of juice available to be able to perform when you get to that point. So be a fun week. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it needs to be looked at like that. Fun. It's exciting. It's a reward for the hard work you've put in during the season, and let's go out and perform.
And kind of going off that for both of y'all, probably for us in the media, it feels like the season has flown by. It might feel like a super long season for you guys. I'm just curious, as the games are limited now, what is the thing you'll miss the most about this group of guys that you played with this season?
No, you're good. I don't know. We're all really close on and off the court. I think I missed that the most. Getting to know these guys from, me transferring in and them just being, welcoming and, welcoming me in with, open arms. And I feel like, last year, even though being my first year here, I felt like I knew these guys, for a long time. And I think that's what I most miss about, this team and the guys that are here right now. It was never, I never felt no hate or, anything like that from these guys. It was always love. So that's probably the thing I miss with, everybody still here right now.
I mean, for me personally, it would be the support and unity that the guys showed from way back in June. They've allowed me to coach them hard. I get after them. They've been unbelievably. They've taken that coaching. And I challenge them, I push them, and I try and do it on purpose too. Lakai knows what I'm talking about. Just to try and get us a little tougher as we journey through the season, and when we do get hit with adverse situations, but I always believe that the biggest memory you take from seasons like this is the success that you build together. I think it'll be something that they'll take with them for the rest of their lives, understanding that you need, if you are part of a team, sport or on business, like you need support of others to get you to where you want to go, and they know how hard they've had to work to achieve what they've been able to achieve, and they know some things that they've probably not done well enough at certain times that have probably not let us get across the line, but you learn from that, and that's what it's about. And I'd still reflect back on all those great teams that I've been part of, and like I said, just the friendships that's more important than the wins and losses. You have friendships forever, and you'll talk to those guys way down the line here and reflect on these experiences, and that's what I'll take from it.
Well, you guys still got a couple more games to play. So final question for me, obviously it's the playoffs, a lot more on the line, but does seeing these teams twice already kind of give you a little bit more confidence in your prep going into a tournament like this?
It does. You've got a bit of an understanding of how they will play against you, and what they felt was productive against you the last time you played them. They also understand the things that weren't very good, and vice versa for us. So we'll prepare the best way possible, because obviously we don't really know who we're playing. We could be playing one of three teams. So I think the big thing is to really concentrate and lock into what we're about, what we know we need to do very well to play anybody. We can talk about there's certain schemes and stuff that we can tweak on game day or day before or whatever, but and I talk about this too, you got to lean back on your past experiences together. I say it all the time. We've played these teams. We know what we've done well, what we haven't done well. Yes, the intensity goes up, but again, it's still just a game of basketball, and we need to go do our things and do them well, and see if we can do it at a high level.
Just two quick questions from me. Lakai, against Temple, you hit a half-court shot. And then, Nick, in the last game against ECU, he hit a half-court shot. In your opinion, in your unbiased opinion, who had the better half-court shot?
His was probably farther than mine, but I feel like mine is better. I scored my 1,000-point on that one, so his was tough. Like I think he shot it from the other 3-point line. So he joined the group.
And then for you, Coach, against Rice, Igor had 26 points, and that was the most that a 49er had scored all season. And then 3 days later, Lakai topped that with 27. So in your opinion, who had the better offensive performance?
It doesn't really matter. They're obviously both very talented in that space, and it's part of their role. Part of their role is to go out and perform like that, and you obviously have nights where you're pretty special and make big plays. And I'll tell you right now, it's good to have them have a little bit of form at this time of the year, being able to do things like that. Because it's going to take those type of performances from whoever it may be on the night to be able to go out and get it going. And they've all kind of had their moments during the year. Lakai touched on it earlier, Rob's shot making the other night was massive, and that's something that we're going to need from people that can do that at a really high level, is to knock down shots. And Rob had it going the other night, which we're all very happy for him. He's had to deal with some injury stuff, and his knees are sore and so on and so forth, but he just plows on through. And
Uncle Rob.
And obviously 2 great performances and game-winning performances, and that's what you need.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Lakai. That concludes today's press conference.
Appreciate it.